Hello everyone, welcome to the topic the central problem of an economy. Okay, now the central problem of an economy means that the one problem that a problem in an economy which is faced by the entire nation, or we can say a problem which is faced in an economy by the entire economic system is why do economic problem arises. So one thing we need to understand here is that if we see our economic society, in the society what happens, that there are many people who are engaged in different kind of activities, like some are doing labor work, some are selling vegetables, some are working as a teacher, some are working in an agricultural unit. Now why they all are working? They are working to earn money, right? They are working to earn money. This money, what they want to do is they want to satisfy their wants, or in a very simple term, they want to consume goods and services which are produced in the market, right? From the money they will purchase goods and services which are produced in the market, right? At the same time they will also fulfill their wants from this money, right? But an individual or a society has to keep in mind that this money is not with them in in a very in a very huge form. It is very limited with them. So with this money they have to utilize and they have to estimate their want and their consuming power, right? So here we can say, so from this we can say that in economic, people had to make decision with their limited resources. So the economic problem arises in is that people wants are unlimited, they have very limited resources, and at the same time they will alternately use these resources, right? So these are the problems in an economy. Never ending wants of the people, but at the same time resources are so limited that we have to make a choice so that these resources can be efficiently utilized, right? So this is why the economic problem arises. Let us come to the next part. Let us learn in detail about these unlimited wants, limited resources and alternate use. Let me explain this with an example. Suppose Ritu wants some food, some sari, utensil for her mother, sweet for her brother, and bangles. Right? Now, if she has the money, she wants to buy all these things. So, from this example, we can say that individual wants are unlimited. They want now and then they want many things. So, wants are unlimited. Let us come to the next one, that is limited resources. Now, let us study this limited resources with an example. Suppose Ritu over here has 1,000 rupees given to her to spend. Now from this 1,000 rupees she wants, okay, she wants to spend this money in food, sari, utensil and packet of sweet and a set of bangles with the costs are given respectively. Now all these together, if we calculate the price, it is 1250, that is 1250. But how much money Ritu has? She has only 1,000 rupees with her. Now what she has to do is that she has to adjust her purchase accordingly. What she can do, she can either go for sari or either go for utensil, or she has to give up with one thing. So here we can say that people have income high and low, but unlimited income they don't have, they have in limited income, that is limited resources available to them, and according to that resources only they have to act in a society, right? Let us come to the next part, that is alternate use of resources. Now what does this alternate use of resources refers here? Now what Ritu can do is that she has only 1,000 rupees and the cost is going 1250, so she has to give up something from the want list, right? Now she can use her 1,000 to buy some items. She chooses to buy, for example, utensils for her mother, and sari and set of bangles she has given up. So like this, what happened, she has utilized this limited resources in alternate use. Okay, these things are in priority, I will buy those things first and the rest I can do it later because I have a very limited resource. So all factors of production can be put to alternate uses. We will study this more in detail in the further examples. Let us continue further. So let us start with that. What is scarcity? First of all, in an economic term, scarcity means that when the resources are scarce, which are ultimately related to human wants, this will give us to a fundamental economic problem, right? Because human wants are unlimited, at the same time resources are very scarce. Now, scarcity are of two types. One, it is relative scarcity, and the other is absolute scarcity. Now, what does relative scarcity refers here? Let us understand. Now, relative scarcity means that resources are scarce due to the public demand. We have resources with us. There is a shortage of distribution and a limited supply due to the public demand. Right, this immediately we cannot the wants of the people in the society for the particular goods where the demand is high. Let us take an example. During pandemic, okay, when there was an initial stage of the pandemic, what happened, the most important thing which was demanded more in the markets were the sanitizers, right? It was more demand in the market. Now as the demand of this commodity goes higher, what happened, that it causes the shortage of the distribution and the supply of this particular good, right? So this what happened, that immediately if a person wants it, they were not able to get it in the market due to higher demand and due to the slow distribution and limited supply. No doubt we have, but the supply is very low due to the high demand, and the distribution is also very slow because the production is very slow in the firms and industries, right? So this means relative scarcity, like we will meet this in future, but immediately we cannot meet up with the commodity. Let us come to the next one, that is absolute scarcity. What does absolute scarcity refers here? Let us take an example of coal. Now coal is a natural resource. Now also we do use coal in various activities. So what happened, due to the excessive use of this natural resources has led to deplete these resources, right? So this coal is depleting, or in the near future we can say that it will be gone or nearly gone or cannot be increased, right? Because it's a natural resource, it takes lot of time to rebuild again. So absolute here means that the supply cannot be increased, right? It cannot be resolved by increasing supply or by improving the distribution, how is to be done in the relative scarcity, right? The resources simply are not enough to fulfill the wants of the people. So here what we have to do, we have to wisely choose and wisely work on the uses of the coal. So that is absolute scarcity. I hope till here the concept of relative and absolute is clear. Let us move further. That now kinds of resources. So what are the kinds of resources which are used to fulfill the wants of the people? There are four kinds of resources, that is land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. All economic resources are scarce or limited in supply. All these resources we do have, but it is very scarce and limited in supply. So these are the kinds of resources. Let us come to the next point and understand. Now comes the most important topic of this particular video, that is the central problem of economy. Now as we studied that unlimited wants, limited resources and alternate use of resources put us the three main important question in the economy, that is the central problem of economy, right? The various central problem of economy are, first is economic growth and development. Yes, we do deal with the central problem, that how growth and development should take place in an economy. Then efficiently using of these resources which are scarce, at the same time allocation of these resources in alternative uses. These are three questions what arises in the central problem of economy arises, that is what to produce, how to produce and for whom to produce. These are the three most important question arises when we talk about central problem of economy under allocation of resources. right? Let us understand this with example and in detail. Come with an example. For example, a farmer has a single piece of agricultural land. He has a single piece of agricultural land, limited resources, right? He has a limited resource. He will grow rice or wheat. He has to choose between both of them. Either he will grow more rice or more wheat. At the same time, what government choice is that government has to decide where to allocate fund, either for the production of defense good or for the consumer goods, right? And in what proportion, very important, in what proportion, because what quantity it needs to be. We cannot abundantly produce things in large quantity. We made that where these funds have to be allocated, either for defense good and consumer good. The next part, that is how to produce, labor intensive or labor intensive or capital intensive. Let us see. On Rita's farm, there is a on Rita's farm, she has a piece of land. In her farm, if she chooses to do the plowing, sowing and harvesting and threshing with her bullocks and employing people, then it will come to labor intensive technique, right? If she uses machines such as tractor, harvester, thresher, then she is using capital intensive techniques, right? Here the output will be slow, but it will be good. But here the output will be very fast because capital intensive techniques are being used, right? But at the same time, here what major things need to keep in mind are the financial condition of a particular nation, which will be more benefited to them according to the spending power. Problem refers to the selection of the category of people who will ultimately consume the goods. Selection, category of the people. Here category refers to rich and poor. Category refers to rich and poor. That is, whether to produce goods for more poor and less rich, or whether to produce goods for more rich and less poor, vice versa. So as resources are scarce in every economy, this leads to the problem of choices in an economic system, that which goods, for whom the goods should be produced more, either for the rich or for the poor. But both of these terms cannot be neglected in an economic system. We have to keep in mind both of them, and accordingly we need to produce goods in the society. Let us take an example that on Rita's crop is harvested and sold. She harvested the crop and sold it in the market, right? As once she sold it in the market, she will get the money from it, right? But she has harvested also the crop by using labor intensive techniques. Now if she has used factors of production, then she has to give them also in something return. So if she has used labor, she has to pay wages for them, right? If she has then for the land she needs to pay rent, and the capital in the form of machinery will be paid interest, right? So she will be utilizing her factors of production for their services, and she has to give them back. She cannot just compensate their services by giving the harvest what they has done. No, she needs to give them, she needs to pay them, right? So according to the income what the labor will get, this will decide his purchasing power in the market. Accordingly he will consume the good. For whom to produce, we can say income is not equally distributed in this society, right? Everybody gets income according to the services what they give, right? So according to that they will purchase goods and services in the society. So Rita will earn profit as an entrepreneur. She will earn a profit because she has done all this activity, organizing the factors of production and undertaking some risk for the productive activity. So for whom to produce give is one of the most important question arises, because here we need to keep the category of the people in mind, right? We cannot just neglect poor, or we just cannot neglect rich. So accordingly wise choices to be made so that goods and services can be reached to the maximum people in the society. I hope today's video will be helpful for you all, and you might have gained little knowledge from my video. So if you like my today's video, please do like, share and subscribe my channel. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye.